What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the natural physique update of Martin-Fitzwater. And by that I mean, since he is in the detox phase, he is most probably gonna be off everything, all the PEDs, the gear, the supplements, because he has literally been prepping for most part of this year. Because for those of you guys who do not know, he was in prep for the Arnold this year as well, then Detroit Pro, the New York Pro, the Olympia and then Pro. So I'm guessing he is gonna take this time to clean out his system, and the only reason he isn't doing this upcoming Arnold is because he feels it's just way too soon. So Martin's game plan for next year, that seems so awesome. He has picked up a number of shows, and these shows are the ones which are gonna pay the most, like the Pittsburgh Pro, Dubai Pro and FIBA Germany. And we have to keep in mind, he is riding on such high momentum that none of us would be a little surprised if he wins all three of them. So it is great to see him back in the old Metroflex gym, where the greatest of all time, Ronnie Coleman, trained for most part of his career. And Martin also trained here with his mentor Branch Warren when these guys were working together. So Martin's own expectations for this next Miss Olympia, that is moving into that top 3, which means he's gonna have to beat at least one very great bodybuilder, a former Miss Olympia. Because as of right now, it seems like Samson, Hadi and Derek, they are gonna be looking even better next year. So that in itself is such a high goal. So Martin's rise to the top, that has been so exciting for all of us bodybuilding fans. Plus, the fact that we are gonna get to see a top Olympian compete multiple times next year, that is a cherry on top. Another Olympia throwback posted by the Persian Wolf, Hadi with a very interesting caption, which may be directed towards the judges of the Olympia this year, who gave Samson Dauda the win over Hadi this time. Now obviously Hadi wasn't happy with the decision, as explained by his post-Olympia interviews, where he said that the judges rewarded the biggest guy, but not the most conditioned guy. Which I have got to say isn't a very valid argument, especially in this scenario, because conditioning isn't the only thing that matters in bodybuilding. And when you have a competitor like Samson Dauda, who has the size as well as the shape and the aesthetics, and because of all of these advantages of Samson Dauda over Hadi, then I have got to say conditioning isn't the primary factor. I mean, we always said that all Samson has to do is to close that conditioning gap between him and Derek and Hadi. And that is exactly what he did. And that is why he won the Olympia. Plus the fact is Hadi wasn't as good as he was at the Arnold this year. But that being said, nobody, even Samson Dauda, can beat Hadi in the conditioning department. And that makes this upcoming Miss Olympia very exciting, as Hadi will be coming back, all fresh, fully focused, and fully determined to take back that Olympia title. Now what was the reason for Hadi not looking as good at the Olympia as he did for the Arnold earlier this year? Maybe it was the first time in his career he did 2 such big shows, and these shows were stretched months apart, and his body got tired at the end. Nevertheless, Hadi knows it wasn't his best that lost to Samson at this past Miss Olympia, and if there is anyone who 100% believe he can get that standout back, that is the Persian Wolf. Very interesting story posted by the 2023 Miss Olympia champion, Derek Lunsford. So this could very well mean that Derek is already working with a new coach. It's just that he hasn't announced it just yet. And man, you have got to admit that is the best back in the whole pro league at the moment. Certainly top 3 greatest backs of all time. And Phil Heath also falls in that same category of having the greatest back ever. And his advice to Derek after this year's Miss Olympia was that to focus on the other aspects of his physique, like his quads and his delts, because he has got a great back already, and he's gonna be very dominant in that shot anyway. Now people are just so quick to count someone out, especially after Steve Weinberger's comments about Derek, that if his legs look the same as they did at the Olympia last year, even he had no idea what could have happened, what the outcome could have been. So I believe Derek Lunsford is definitely gonna be up there at the Olympia next year, fighting for the top spot. And I think this next year, that is really gonna show us his true character, how strong Derek is mentally, and how will he come back after placing 3rd in his first Olympia title defense. Now Chris Aceto might be a great choice for Derek, considering him and his training partner McGregor are very close, and Asito not only brought Gregor in the best condition of his life at this past Miss Olympia, but the size that he was able to pack on in the last couple of years, especially in this last 1 year, that was just so unbelievable. So he might be able to do the same with Derek as well. And we have to keep in mind, Chris Asito is an Olympia winning coach.
If Derek would have been the Derek of the year before, I don't know what would have happened. His legs were small. He just was off. I don't know what he did wrong, but he was off.
The professional bodybuilders are just so used to the same routine when it comes to training and dieting and eating clean that even at their worst possible times, they stay more disciplined and more regimented than 99.9% of the population. And that is what really separates them from the other people. So the major reason why Fabian Sylvian announced his retirement from professional bodybuilding was because of his health. Because that just went downhill so fast this year. He was diagnosed with some kind of tumor, possibly a cancer. And today he was admitted to the hospital to go through the required treatment. And just look how he has been keeping himself active and agile by doing push-ups and is also eating his regular clean meals with chicken and rice. So we have no idea where he would have placed at the Olympia this year, which was his classic physique Olympia debut, if he showed up for the callouts. He did just the individuals, and I have got to say he looked absolutely amazing. So never ever did Fabian brought that sort of conditioning to the stage before. Now we have seen him taking retirement before, like 2 years back, but after just 1 year, he was back prepping for a bodybuilding show. Now even with these new weight regulations for classic, it wasn't easy for him to make that weight. So if he ever returns, he might go back to the men's open bodybuilding. Most of you guys have seen this picture of Roelly Winkler from back in the day, where he outangled the whole existence of the other guy. So here is a recent picture of Roelly, 4th year into retirement. So whenever there will be discussion of the greatest arms of all time, Roelly's name will always come up, and maybe at the top, because his arms were just so damn insane. And Roelly has recently got back into the training and the diet regime, and that is why he has gotten some of the size back. So at the age of 47, Roelly looks very good. He was genetically gifted in the arms department, so this will always be a standout body part for him, as long as he keeps on training. Now looking back at Roelly's career, it is kind of unfortunate that there was only 1 year, 2018, where we saw Roelly live up to his potential. He truly brought his 100%, and that was the same year where he was able to place top 3 at the Olympia level in a world-class lineup. Also, he was able to beat guys like Dexter Jackson and William Bonac, and he was able to win the Arnold that year. So would that 2018 physique have won the Olympia next year when there was no Big Ramy, no Sean Roden, and no Phil Heath? Well, maybe he could have, but he missed his mark big time. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.